I still remember the way the cabin went quiet. Not the peaceful kind of quiet, but the sharp one, the kind that cuts through recycled air and lands right on your skin. I was standing in the aisle of a plane boarding pass in my hand backpack over one shoulder. Nothing flashy, no suit, no leather briefcase. Just me, a long day behind my eyes, and seat 2A printed clearly in black ink. The flight attendant didn't even look at the boarding pass. She looked at me. Then she smiled the tight kind of smile people use when they've already decided who you are. "Sir," she said, blocking the aisle with her body. "First class is up here." I blinked once. "Yes, ma'am. That's why I'm here." She crossed her arms. "You'll need to head back to economy. This section is for premium passengers." That was the moment I felt every pair of eyes drift toward me, the moment I realized I'd already lost the benefit of the doubt before I'd said a word. I handed her my boarding pass anyway. "Seat 2A, I said calmly. "That's me." She glanced at it for half a second, not enough to read it, just enough to dismiss it. "That must be a mistake," she said, a soft laugh writing the end of her sentence. "It happens." I nodded slowly, the way you do when you're deciding whether to correct someone or let them keep talking. "I don't think it is," I replied. She sighed, loud, theatrical, and motioned for another attendant to stand behind her like backup. "Sir, I've been doing this job a long time. I know who belongs up here." Belongs. That word sat heavy in my chest. Now here's the thing. I wasn't angry yet. I wasn't embarrassed either. I was familiar. Because this wasn't the first time someone had looked at my hoodie, my jeans, my skin, and decided I'd taken a wrong turn in life. I'd learned years ago that when people think you have nothing, they stop pretending to be kind. She asked for ID. I gave it to her. She held it at arm's length like it might stain her fingers. "This doesn't match our manifest," she said. I smiled, polite, patient. "Could you check again?" She didn't. Instead, she leaned in slightly and lowered her voice, not enough for privacy, just enough to feel personal. "I'm trying to help you avoid embarrassment," she said. "Just take a seat in coach and we'll sort it out later." Behind me, I heard someone whisper, "Wow." I could feel phones coming out. You can always feel it, that shift when strangers sense a story forming. I took a breath, long, slow. "Ma'am," I said, "I paid for this seat. I'm not moving." That's when her tone changed. Sharper, harder. "We have a schedule to maintain," she snapped. "You're delaying an entire aircraft." Funny how quickly one person becomes the problem when they refuse to shrink. She called her supervisor. He arrived with that look, annoyed, rushed, already tired of me before he knew me. "What seems to be the issue?" he asked. "She's saying I don't belong here," I replied evenly. "I'm saying this is my seat." He took my boarding pass. Actually read it this time. His eyebrows twitched just slightly. "Huh?" he muttered. "This says seat 2A. Before he could finish the thought, she cut in. "That can't be right," she said. "Look at him." She didn't even realize what she'd said until the words were already hanging in the air. "Look at him." The supervisor hesitated, then said, "Sir, what's your name?" I told him. His face changed, not dramatically, just enough. "Give me one moment," he said. That's when the whispering stopped. The plane felt smaller, tighter. A phone somewhere chimed with a notification. Someone else started recording openly, now not even hiding it. The supervisor came back, voice quieter. "Our system shows your seat is correct." She stiffened. "That's impossible. A man like that wouldn't—" He raised a hand. "Jennifer." She didn't back down. "I've seen scams before," she said, louder now, defensive. "Fake tickets, fake IDs. This feels like that." I could have ended it right there. I could have pulled out my phone, made one call, said one name. But instead I asked a question. "Is this how you treat everyone," I said, "or just people you think don't belong?" That did it. The supervisor looked at her, then at me, then at the growing sea of cameras. "I'm calling the captain," he said. When the captain's voice came over the intercom, it wasn't angry, just firm. "Who am I speaking with?" I answered. There was a pause. Then recognition. "Oh," he said. "Yes, I know exactly who you are." The air shifted. She went pale. The supervisor swallowed hard. A moment later, my phone rang. I put it on speaker, not for drama, just because my hands were full. "Hey," the voice said warmly. "We heard there might be an issue." The supervisor's jaw dropped. The flight attendant stepped back like the floor had tilted. I didn't raise my voice. I didn't smile. "I think there's been a misunderstanding," I said into the phone. "One worth addressing." The call ended. The captain apologized publicly, quietly, respectfully. They offered me my seat. But before I sat down, I turned back to her. "I don't want you fired," I said. And I meant it. "I want you to remember this moment." She opened her mouth, closed it, opened it again. "I was just doing my job," she whispered. "No," I said gently. "You were doing what you thought was right without checking if it actually was." I sat down. The plane eventually took off, late, silent. No one clapped, no one spoke. I stared out the window as the ground fell away, my reflection faint in the glass. I didn't feel victorious. I felt tired. Because moments like that don't teach you how powerful you are. They remind you how fragile respect can be when it's built on assumptions. I didn't change who I was that day. They just finally saw it. And maybe, just maybe, they saw themselves too. So let me ask you something. Do you think money changes how people treat you, or does it simply reveal who they've been all along? Let me know in the comments.